A mother experienced in real love writes to me as follows. My 10-year-old son, Andre, can be so annoying. I'll be in the middle of doing something around the house and he just shows up and starts talking. He expects me to stop what I'm doing, not leave the room to do anything else, and just sit there and listen to him. It's really annoying. And the details, snooze city. He describes in minute detail some small thing that I am not the least bit interested in. He'll describe a movie he saw, including every action and every word the character spoke. What a memory. Interesting that when it comes to remembering where his shoes are or remembering something I told him to do, he suddenly loses this brilliant memory, but he's really good at some things. Now, Mom, already there's quite a list of things here for you to learn, things that will make you happier as a person and as a mother. And the rewards for Andre will be considerable. So, one at a time. Lesson 1. You said that your son, quote, can be so annoying, end quote. No, in fact, wrong. Your son is not annoying. He can certainly be inconvenient. That's kind of the nature of, children, but not inherently annoying. He can't make you feel irritated. Now, what's the meaning of inconvenient? Let's look at that so that we can understand this better. Inconvenient means something that makes things slower, harder, messier, more difficult, whatever. Convenient, the opposite of inconvenient, is just simply easier. Inconvenient is less easy. But there is no emotional component in the meaning of convenient and inconvenient. Annoying, on the other hand, has lots of emotion. By annoying, that means a thing or person, if you believe that somebody annoys you, a thing or a person controls you and makes you feel bad, angry, and so on. There's lots of emotion here, and you lose your ability to choose if you believe that things make you feel a certain way. That would mean that instead of having EJFR, event, judgment, feeling, reaction, we just have event, reaction, which robs you of choosing how you'll judge a thing and how you'll then feel. It pretty much turns you into an inanimate object, like a billiard ball or falling tree. Lesson 2. You said that your son will just show up and start talking. Do you want to know how many parents would give anything for a difficult child, a withdrawn child, an uncommunicative child, a cutting child, to show up and just start sharing themselves? Like a child addicted to drugs, running away, cutting, or dead. Do you know how many parents wish that they had a child who would just show up and talk to them? You might consider a change in your perspective of his being even inconvenient, much less annoying. You are actually unbelievably fortunate that he talks to you. In fact, lesson 3, he wants your love. That's a gift. He's begging for your love. That really changes the perspective. Now, what will your response be to a child begging for your love when, past a certain age, they give up and withdraw completely? Would you choose, knowing that if he's going to get older and withdraw completely, would you choose now to love him? Or would you be annoyed by him? You're at a golden time when he's not withdrawing. It's beautiful. Lesson 4. Your son talks in minute detail. That might be just part of his personality. He's chatty, garrulous, verbose, lots of synonyms. But it's even more likely that he has never succeeded, especially in light of what you just said, he's never succeeded in getting you to really listen to him. So he's learned that he can essentially capture you, hold you hostage with details. They know when we don't listen. We sometimes don't speak when they're speaking to us, but that's not the same as active listening. And there's whole books about how to active listen. When we're not really listening and we're just being quiet, our eyes kind of glaze over, we multitask, we look down at our phone that just dinged. We don't ask questions to bring out even more details. He's supplying you all these details because you're not asking for them. I've done this with many parents. You start asking him the details of what happened, and he'll probably end up talking less. Because what is he looking for? For you to genuinely listen. I'll bet you don't look directly into his eyes, which is why he keeps talking. He wants you. He doesn't just want your silence. He wants your soul to be listening. And that's not happening, or he wouldn't keep doing this. So what's the choice you could make that would be vastly different and more rewarding? I'm just going to suggest one. Grateful. Grateful not for the details of a movie. I mean, who cares? Or how you play this video game or blah, blah, blah. But grateful for and interested in him. I once had I had two of my children in the room, and one child was giving me the details of a movie, and like your son, he could describe every single word of dialogue, every action, every scene change, how many cars were on the screen at any given moment. He just could tell you the whole movie. And he went on like this for 40 minutes, probably. He left the room. My other son was doing something, I don't remember what, and he said to me, "Dad, do you have any interest at all in that movie?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you going to ever watch it?" "No." "Well, for one thing, I don't need to now." "No." And he said, "You look like you were fascinated by the movie." I said, "No, I'm fascinated by him. I was listening to him, not the movie. And they can tell the difference." So you could do with a huge change in perspective. Why do I say you could do with it? You need it, because the way you're parenting him now is unfulfilling for you and unfulfilling for yourself. I say unfulfilling for you and unfulfilling for him. It's a big change. But even with a change in perspective, you're never trapped by obligation when on occasion you just don't have it in you to listen. Just because he shows up and wants to talk does not mean that you're stuck. You feel like you are. That's one of the reasons you're annoyed. You can, one, have the conversation whenever you want, not just when he wants. And two, you can end it when you want. Way better to do something completely voluntarily because you want to, but perhaps for not as long as somebody wants, than to do it for as long as they want, but you're half there and you're multitasking and they're going, "You ain't listening." But do listen to him. You're not trapped, but listening to a child is a privilege. Now, how do you have a conversation when you want and end it when you want? First, what if he shows up and you're focused on something you're doing and you can't do what you're doing and listen to him at the same time? It's really simple, but we don't think of it because we felt trapped all of our lives by people who commanded our attention, been offended when we didn't do what they wanted. You tell him, "Oh, I am dying to hear what you've got to tell me. I can see it on your face, but I need to get this particular thing done, and I will come and find you in X minutes." See what just happened? That's just beautiful. I'm dying. I want to hear you. That's what he's going to remember. And when I'm done with this, I'll come get you. Now, you can't forget. I'll come and get you. Why? Because I'm so interested in you, which is what the child wants. It's not talking about the movie. Now, what if he's talking and you can feel yourself wanting to scream because of the details, because you're not going to just suddenly do this perfectly. That's okay. You just tell him, "Oh, I've really enjoyed hearing your story." Now, write down on a piece of paper, find one, Keep one in the room. Write down on a piece of paper where you were in the story, and I'll come and find you in X minutes, and we'll finish the story. What's the message of both approaches? It's, I care about you. I do have something else to do right now, but I want to keep listening to you. Mom then responded to me, and she said, okay, I got it. I'm just learning to care about my son as much as I care about my own interests. That's a lovely, honest thing to say. And you're teaching me that I don't have to give up who I am in order to love him. Exactly what I'm saying. I can do this, Mom says. He will feel like he just won $1 million, and so will I. Yes, she says. Perfect. It's a lovely illustration for all of us, when to listen, how to listen, and how we can do all of that and never feel trapped or inconvenienced by our own children.